Hi and welcome again. As usual, before I get started, please hit the like button, and if you have not subscribed yet, please click on the subscribe button, and also remember to click on the bell icon so you will be notified on my latest video. And so let's get started with today's video. So it's year 2020 and almost everyone is talking about the 2020 goal. So I guess I should join in the bandwagon as well. Hope it's not too late though. Although my goal is not just for 2020, and I am pretty sure that this goal of mine, most of us will definitely want it and want to achieve it as soon as possible, which is, guess what? FIRE, or FIRE, which means financially independent and retired early. The basic idea for FIRE is start as early as possible, putting as much as you possibly can into saving or into investment, some as high as 70 to 80% of their income. There is 4 types of FIRE. Fat FIRE refers to an individual with a more leeway of lifestyle who save more than the average or required amount of retirement. Lean FIRE refers to very minimalistic living with extreme saving. Barista FIRE refers to those who have quit their 9 to 5 jobs but with part-time work to cover some of their expenses. Coast FIRE refers to those using income from part-time job or businesses to retire early alongside with some saving. There is no actual rules to follow to achieve FIRE, so feel free to mix up any type you want, as long as you have enough money to cover your expenses during your retirement. But I am not too sure if I want to retire early. But one thing I am very sure of is that I want to be financially independent. Spending money from my investment portfolio, interest or profit earned, and probably from YouTube, but as of now, it's still very far from my reach. So let's start from the basic, which is of course calculating your monthly expenses. Let's say your monthly expenses is about 3,000, so 1 year 36,000. So assuming you will retire at the age of 45, average living to 75, it means that about 30 years, so the retirement fund will be approximately around 1.08 million. Sounds a lot, right? Wait, there's more. Over time, most of the time, price of the goods and services will increase, and the value of our money drops in the future due to inflation rate. We have to include the inflation rate in our calculation. So let's give it a conservative of 2% inflation rate per year. So using the simplest calculation method, so 36,000 per year times by 2% of inflation rate, which is about 37,000. So the second year will be approximately 38, and the third year will be approximately 39,000, and that is about 1,000 increase every single year. So it sounds scary seeing that the requirement amount to retire grow each year due to inflation. And that's why you often hear people say that don't just save your money, invest. While investing does not 100% guarantee that you will profit from it, but it will hedge against inflation rate. Saving, however, will guarantee the capital preservation, but as you have known, inflation will devalue the money saved throughout the year. And this will severely affect your retirement fund, especially when the inflation rate is high. There might be an argument where, as we grow old, spending will decrease as our desire and wants will decrease, while others believe that health expenses will increase since we are getting older. But seeing my parents, relatives, and grandparents, their health condition is good, if not better than me. So I do agree that we have to have health insurance, but that is another video for that topic. This should go without saying, that is, we have to pay all our debts and loan. You do not want the precious retirement fund used to pay off debt and loan during our retirement. This will severely affect how much and how long we can rely on the fund, and it will possibly throwing off if we use the money to settle off our debts and loan. And here is a famous method, which is the 4% rule, which means that withdraw 4% of your portfolio each year since your retirement. For example, your portfolio value at 1 million, so 4% is 40,000 per year. So every year we can withdraw 40,000, no matter the portfolio is in red or green. So we still continue withdraw 40,000. Sounds easy, right? Easy peasy. But it requires high self-discipline and control, as the budget is limited. And when you break a rule by just even 1%, it will jeopardize the entire portfolio, since there is compounded interest take place in the portfolio. However, personally, I don't think that this is a method that suits all of us, as it assumes that the retiree portfolio consists of 60% stock, 40% bond, and also inflation rate might not as constant as predicted. Plus, the data for the 4% rules computed from the midst of 1990s, so it's quite outdated, plus future event is not foreseeable. Personally, I would not like touching the capital, as I am planning to leave it for my future child. Instead, I am hoping and currently working towards living on the interest or passive income derived from my portfolio. My initial planning is that my portfolio will be able to generate income that can tank my monthly fixed expenses, be it from fixed deposit, stock, ETF, bond, real estate, and unit trust. And currently I am right on track, which is the interest earned from my portfolio currently able to tank around 40% of my monthly fixed expenses. And since I'm still working, so those interest earned are being reinvested into higher risk portfolio like stock, unit trust, and ETF. For FIRE to work more efficiently and effectively, another key element is frugality, which it means that living below means or economically. Actually, I have been practicing frugality, or rather being taught by my parents. Some might feel embarrassed to do so, while others, people like me, will definitely not. And to be honest, I do feel proud of it. And that being said, I don't encourage people to do extreme frugality, especially those have sacrificed safety, hygiene, and health just to save a buck or two. Example of my frugality is that I don't buy new clothes, instead I reuse them, meaning that I have 3 types of clothing: one for work, one for outing, and another one for New Year, which wear during New Year. So by using this method, the wear and tear of those clothing will significantly reduce, and this helped me to save a lot on clothing. I, however, do buy branded, not luxuries, okay? Reason being that there is some branded clothing which their quality is very good. It might costlier, but it will last longer. And this is what I feel very proud of, which is I does not buy a brand new shining car. And I am pretty sure that most of us will have the urge to buy a brand new or even a luxury car when we went into the working society. We want the bragging rights and showing off that we can buy those luxury and fancy shiny new car, and a little bit of pleasuring ourselves because we are doing all the hard work. I got the used car from my parents, and I bought it over my parents when the car aged around 15 years. Of course, I pay according to the market price to my parents. However, unfortunately, during the second year of I own the car, I need to fork out around 2,000 ringgit to repair it. But luckily, that was the only time, and it is still going strong as of now. But since it's nearing the age of 23, and I do anticipate that it might not last for another year or two. Oh well, nevertheless, for the past 8 to 9 years of owning the car, instead of paying monthly installment with interest, which if I buy a brand new car, I save those money in investment, and those money are giving me a quite nice return, averaging about 6 to 7% per year for the last 8 years. Nice, right? So instead being a slave for the bank, I get to make my money compounded for me. So if you want to retire early or even financially independent, start by doing these 4 methods. 1. Calculate your monthly expenses. 2. Settle all the loans and debt. 3. Adopt to the 4% rules if you want. And 4. Start practicing frugality. The earlier you adopt to it, the more money you can save and you can invest it. Remember, compounding interest is the 8th wonder of the world. So that's it, guys. Remember, like and subscribe and share to your friends if you like my video. Thanks.